Championships around here at this time of year used to mean one thing and one thing only. But after 49 years, the Chicago Blackhawks have won another Stanley Cup, and there's a feeling that one of the NHL's original 6 franchises may be doing it more than once. The one thing that should have been clear after the Olympics is that Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane were the 2 best players on the 2 best teams at the Olympics, and the 3rd best player might have been their defenseman Duncan Keith, who joined Toews on the Canada squad. This team has skill, it has strength, it acquired a very important veteran piece when Marian Hossa, who had lost the last 2 Stanley Cups, first with Pittsburgh and then with Detroit, came over and provided not just experience but some tremendous strength and a guy willing to go into the corners and get the puck for some of the big scorers on this team. This couldn't have been a better deal for the NHL. I mean, you can say that hockey had a tremendous amount of momentum coming out of the Olympics because of the viewership numbers, because of the tremendous games they played. And yet there's nothing, I suppose, better than having one of the original 6 franchises and then bringing another big market like Philadelphia. The opening game of the series on Saturday night, Memorial Day, hockey for the first time, I think, ever defeated both races, both the NASCAR and the Indy 500 races in the viewership. They even had a better number in Philadelphia than Roy Halladay's perfect game that same evening. And so I think hockey knew they were onto something. I believe the final clinching game, produced the best number that hockey had seen in something like 36 years. Maybe the final blessing or the final good omen in this entire thing was in the middle of Game 5, Michael Jordan showed up on the video board and stood there in a Jonathan Toews jersey just like his statue was wearing. And I think that might have eased a lot of people's fears that they wouldn't be able to seal the deal. This, after all, was the greatest closer in the game, and yet the Blackhawks proved that when push came to shove, they were pretty good at closing it up too. I'm Jim Litke from the Associated Press outside the house that Michael Jordan built, which for the time being is going to be renamed the house that Chicago Blackhawks owned.